Keda Vata may San Francisco ki Burubura. Sema may gay wasayani.
You know the dignitary. Well, it come to think all over next amount can come up front.
Red, red wine goes to my head, makes me forget that I still need you so. Red, red wine, it's a
Sandi zar turang kena marama daru kena wana leo isa handi nondomo sa rautia nanongo mai kakaporo tu en singa lebu binaka ni kuaya tau madi usaluda kartona nona mate lolo toka na wai kata buran de la inu Bula Radio Bula Duavata San Francisco 75 en tinika ono na miniti na pokok binaka lebu en singa lebu binaka di bingkara batinta ni na ringa mai kerusahan tambe sar tungai ni bataki turangan na ita ya na wasawari takatsukan di bikamuni na lebu na ve seren tanto rongo tu iliu na ngono sela tu mikina kato na kaset le la ko mai na disk o chasa le bisa usar mai sa ando so sar sabe bakatungan na lingan tala laingo kona karanyo katona kina na sere sa to sutungan na bura-bura batekin na katudo ko saya do tukina me ato besar ngame nang ngono ta sa baita bikin ko o bare ta chun bale bi kebri no bi ngon to ko sar do ba do so na video production ngon sangindo tega bumbium kina so na mata sere na YouTube oroni bagare ta do ba kai plain tungai roni rameke meke tok ngapango gai bida tunga na itamba me 5 bata tu na sere nangonango na kena baka duri ya na kena dombi wata ne lalo bata kira ndo lang sere bata kena music sa sing sar tunga bata kena veka sandare tunga Amerika na kai ato tukina nda bo na kena buku ni non rata kata baku ko ira erndom biuta bata na veka to do serbango sigile bina kani ko keron dambe cingo bata turangan na ita na taronga beka o di sarma turangan na ita dambe cingo na danra na ita risi tambua na kabina kani kuwa o ngo kebaka nondo reza nga na YouTube nondo sarap kenda ngo nango nanganta so sang ngono tukine merke o chato sa on takatu na YouTube to sang kebaka sarabo tu so na mata sir lele boroto chumbe kan indonan raw limo sang bulu kebaka undonu na kay bagare tagi chubiyaw yan na non production saranga na turangan tana bagaro bakatorong sing lebu nangani kuya na si so production nyo rongota kana nyo rita ya tal nangon to sar chungo Amerika nangon so sang kon rita kana si so production na kene liu sar nga ko sama inonda bulangi na single lebu binaka ni ko turang ita ke me bako binaka ba lebu ni raw ni sile na muni ngona na kabina ni ko klan ni kemni turang so sar na muni bingarabi na buru-buru recho alalo may nonda puno lo mani bi cember mantan ne kato to kontor no bitan lo kinan dere binaka mentan no bikilai ni bako mantal te kemni sar mantan bako mantel le bikimami kimami wan rawi kemni to ni go Amerika ne biasa buru-buru me kimami kilai kemni rawa dasana ngai toso non to bitan lo na buku ni siso production ken no muni kambani na kabina ni ko ni bulan night
isa ni bula vinaka turangan ita naka na ni bula vinaka na sar tigo mai na singal lewu ni kuwa ibiti ore madalo kom dona tok mengor menglandi mai Amerika netang go aris tambosei o turangan ni nanta kuni mai ni tasiri na kono endondo makino turangan ita o basu telenga kina o bawati namukai lau
malom bula
o sayang baki tolu sanga bulu kalimati kongo na balik turanai.
Na balik besar anta sa kilay raba binaka piwan nanta kuni nrombulan nakwa turangan night opo ni binaka balik di nrombulan maleka juga na singile binaka ni kuwa malo talanga ambulo klado ni sa siama talanga wiki na buro baus talanga ki na may na tuitake kembali sa bia dola bora weekend don na lo matate non to vital no ene ke binaka ni kuwa ya na puno ni bingkarabi juga matanga kin ngonongo ni sa bingkarabi juga na tambana tapa me rauni ki may bulong ngodi mata kino chato sa nangay taga bubakili ni baka malua na nomuni kamba ni binakango.
Sa nakaturangan itayo na ngonong ko o taka-taka tiko na FBC au TV producer ndo zaka show iki na vi matanggali show kwarando mbio na TV will talanga kina na FBC Sports ndo vi rotono roto cameraman ndo vi tamba bona vi ngito lele bukede will kina na ngito kede ni nrua zaka ivichi ne ambago sotal na international local games kwarando low rate na TV na vale.
Na boleh besar TV producer na turangan itango and FBC TV. Apa boleh menang balik besar usan dia talam tengah gue may redir tali o kinta tali di tugur mau na gue na buku cunga ni non ta sando bang ngatakan cukup na non rando nataka ya nang do na kita ke bueni mur turangan naik and nomuni taka na television kelang ken sangi tumbuh tak mau kelah bebe ke baka undonu makam be na rugby World Cup 1991 ya nanguna ta tega bume lago me kina ibichi na richo alo ka bikin daru na pesen go monile taka na richo alo endua tuguna moni pulita se o ke moni ngau ni se tatanda taka chunga me ngon moni se ngone mekin moni tu na buturara o kala ni lele bikin do tatanda taka tunga kona bitamba lele matanga ko tuguna nrua dan do re tu na bi matanga lingito lele ki me Amerika go ya baka tu ndo na taka saule bu na taka nangonongo yo be ke moni.
So, oya u neita u etine mbagi bala da nungu tiko boli me bona tambana ni freight forwarding wili kena kan kastamba wotia o mani zengo le te to me kordiri ngono te to me kene kordiri io e sini ali quando vi una nungu taleta kana barongo sere na be serva vitia undo la copa le una concert na ngono certo on tu me kena sabndi lo mai mo tom do le una concert do yaftu na civic center ondo le barongo sere tu na le nungu taleta kana seria o sini ndo mabinaka ndo tu kuna nungu turanganga so yo nu pambulo matanga flat na ndombung ko ngono sindo langa sere kina mani onge mani ngono le to me kina i korodiri onge reda ni ngona to ya butu kina na daka video ibichi e lebunga na mata sere ra tambachi ko ir na mata sere kwara langa sere na bi hotela kwara endua tani na bunu era perform kina onge redo ir na mata sere kwanda do barongo na ngona so ngono kina mina koro so ngono tete toka play toka bana bunu ni tete onge redo ni sinindu e kapata gira katika to mulum ni tombu sabun lo mai ir kedengo onge mani na numa me upabuli dia unga pakata kiau mo kila na vitamba mo buke irango kwa ngona na vika kele saru klama ibona vitamba na ngono to ya bumikina na turanganita ubuli tanga me bona YouTube au tutorial toka singa mbongo tutorial toka na wala ni vitamba ko to ya bumikina na siso
na wala usar turanganita dorsalan dia man siso production namba kita poni tega bune ken ni bareta chungo namba kina freight forwarding ni ngole leustality kordir do ba murir to na sabundele lumai malumuni tombu semberni de kapata gerto chuna vitamba oni sangai buli tanga pakati kemuni na YouTube namba kita sa tega bukin na siso production.
Ronondo lu tilkaono neita u tega bune ken siso production ya mu wayadana mandana mu pamadal tamadan bani siso gore so ke baka onire na mateni video ngona lago tigeni kina onire na mateni logo ni siso ya tokon donen delana dona buni kau ngai swing toko kene dona swing sini mai siso na siso nda kila ko bango na swing
swing
na bundi no ko pada na kina siso pati kina logo na ngona kito tiko me kene ko diri no diri me bona buda ibudia na matai sarani delana sotava andela na ko toka ni tunda kuni vale ngono zabe kina delana o reda keda na buda ya le wili kina airport yo na delana ya e bakanto ni to bunoti kuni ngangande ba vitamani do vesto kin na wali ni ngonela nda kila na kenda na kautoki e le buvir na lupe antara kasi na wali li na siso kwa pada na tukin na lupe kuna delana o siso kwa ngona eta ya bukina na yata na siso balata na feeling endo sulu bikitu ba vitamani kito ndo za berdelana kito le picnic sar tong me bona buda ya kwa ngono pada na kina siso bata na feeling patangaya adavio no ngono ndubuke ira kina matserengo so 2016 na yang pakai koto ya bukin na siso turangan
na boleh besar anta sa kilantor na kenangay rede chunggon na matanggali product na beiser kalau ko patay kina lalang view na YouTube do liu chunga manangon ngagel ko mikine kauni ser santo kambito may SEESAW siso ya turangan ita sarangango sa pamatal taga bikenta bakaya ta token na puno artondo lengangan di to kina sabi na turangan night ni ranito ko naman biki mami na matay sarangan ni ser oni tambaka mo nimbita ta kina YouTube
na Oya kala sa night. Ningono sa huli da tumengo na vitamba sing kinambong yung tutorial to na YouTube. Tambe to kay so nang do sini cats na network may coordinator do tambe na dala na. Sarapa to ko na ngona nungu sabi na kata mukila na vitamba. Blatini do ten na nungu feel au to ko may wana kani customer free fooding. Ngo mu sabi melande ngo mu kir na vi matserango. Nangono sa utorarau kina na vitamba sa klan kana wale sa tareu tu endo na yalo ni mara we kina nungu sabi parita ko virongo ni sona buki kimu ni vitam sanga endo na taka levo mungu ipakira irna vi mata ser merava bakaiyo mutamba kira batini sindo ikilatu ne dangu e sinindo e se vitamba nanguna ya irna vitamba chuko ar professional sara vidana kai loma vidana wakanda na india ra vitamba tiko o approach taka vidana mata ser Orto sini vingo mea, orto kai ke sanga kito sini kleiko iko semper ni kelendro movie. O meninge approach ta kiningo OB, kero buli bata mi dad lo sula si ulu la kemba.
Iya, sula si.
Mata iseranga ni video tampak kau yau anda siso. O bata bata bati kumai bana bidana seri o pat anda siso mata iseranga video tampak na seri ni suli. Kon lesu tale mai.
Lesu tale mai.
Lesu tale mai. Dora lesu tale mai atamba menusur na seri.
Ya saranga na matay ni Sir Aukel ni batung banga na katudo ko nonda bura-bura turang naite Desember ni kilay nanguna nga sa ating bukin na usulya o di sa mga dita ka saranga bigyan mo ni sa kuya saranga ko.
Iya turang naite. Dati ko po saranga usulya utamba ka no namatay ni Sir. Ngono utamba ka utikin no namatay ni Sir usulya sa tamba ka chingumay na andilusi po nandun na turangan ni India at tamba ka no na video ya. Nangono libi tamba kinoyo buti ke isuli ento wala nga itamba lile o kotokan uko na itamba 2016 sanga kina itamba fensi nangono wala itamba lile o kotokan utumbi komendo na kona ya o kotokan ngono salira de kino usuli sare to kono dundu ile buni tamba koten turangan India ya buti kina kali ile ni tamba koteno ya sa sini mani ngonga liba madal tiko ko imure sa sini mani ve ka ko vi ni rondu na equipments kiro panga katak yo ningono sali out kin na video ngirido ko ni quality level to ka patanga ida ko ngan mani ngai vambo ti ukino ko mani sule televio vida no na ser mutambaka pote ke paradise roots ko to ya ta ko mai kin na siso ya
Bina sa bali butura kina marama daro kina ngana leo nanda bulang ichi kuna ka binanga ni kuwa aris tambo masei tumbo na nonto to vital no chinga na bura-bura ni kena satu suci kena share nangong kelan di dona share satellite exar cukup boleh budi parta cungor paradise roots atau na sarto na kena lepo ka dur ne lalo na share me ko di bakari ta cungor nangong nangono kemni sember ni ya ni sember ni ngole mantanga kina na Fiji na television na FBC TV ni sa taka sarto ngapa full time ika ento pata na nomuni ngai bangkaran nomuni market ika sangi ngole nga na mata share so di sa kuko nga namuni market ita ike muni mebaka na platform on raw sambi to bata ke suli lakem
na kana ke market ita ki sa rorosar ni sa tuna mon liba na ningaw nango mebaka ta kilabinaka endo nangaw na hitmen na radio tamata parong share nga na radio yo nangaw nango sa tamata sa lebun dor majority lebun tamata sa ratuna mon liba so nangaw nong imbita kina na video ya uir na kena po sara no kenda na kenda ndo tu weekend na yalo ni sasanga kena yalo bingati ninda rede ndo da kabachi kuna kaya o kenda talanga pakate kerto sanu intinia hitmen don to share na thangin dele toba takabo sireli ndo tala keni wa sa tawa si sana la ko bisire lumbla tenir to sa reda na na product e vai saranga na nungu ambita mena na serni sul ngona on me kira bona siso sa mani ko saranga na market to da kap genon radidi mena kena po sar sarapanga sar didi mai ko kemem sa mai vivu kekin na ngona
ya nangona matanga ngona o bambo to ke woni sarambega ngoni tege buna weekend na ngoni toki ko na video production ko la ko batu chukuna elaloy Siapa ibi? Sian batang bakasam tak tahu sih cuma ibi. Saya lebung orang nak kantan apa? Suara tak kabu tu. Era siang sar di saya tak kabu sar ada kena matang kali bakasa tak kan cukup nangonong gue. Era tak kabu tu ngambal tenir nanum. Siang talim bagan itu era ni compete buat kira nangono ya. Ya apa betul kini mai set tak sar ngabobi nangon na benchmark ya. Abi kini dah biokan sangke mai lebu nangonong gue. Turang sabi ba na nomuni tiga bunang na si soya. Sali po talang nabi matanggali production sa tunggo nung tapo nalamon ni Butch. Kami nimbo kila sabi ba ito nga nangonong ko.
Isa na nangono te bu make na ya na enduanga ukila to ya buti ko hiti ko menangone ko da ka na bulo nungu itau na ni sabuto.
Sabuto iya.
Endona turanga ni South Africa innocent Bevan Netherland.
Innocent
Baby.
baby.
Eu ange buke endona mata sere nangono se berbi tamba kina. Buke endona mata sere me katoko toni kona tengu ni mataka. Mengeleza kana video ngona ngai charge tak mo kino ko ni ru video ngai charge tak kiro bonom dono undul. Go sengo no manda sempre 2016 go 2014 back say 15 kona turang kwa daga na video ongire da na saule buni video ya sarau ta mera sini market ta ko irna mata ser ko plena non rasere bana taxi mbasi volindani si kwenta diti po kenta na kautoki ko nangauna edito ndo tungo mo ko nge overcharge ta gira tungo o sange babuli kono ngo babuli de una vitamba ya o sangai embaki ba nei tan ko diti ko mo free ta ka bir kedana mata ser ko rala ko me bio er ndra tini ke no er kedana la ko me free ta ka biro na puno er tiko me ke no somo na ngo transport o somo na ngo accommodation ke le moade o somo na kengu na mengu na ngo sanga mu bukeira na senga talindora o sini da kam business na ngo la ko me o sini bakasam ta mu ta business anu ngo bakasam tunga mu bukeira na mata ser Quera sini rao kasar, quera bimbi mene vendeleni abu, era volta kindalo, era volta que angona, mer mai soma rao que non rakot kotuni. Ko menina no moyo mu bukeira me promotok nga kina non ra ka, o sina makasar, me mai katham botsar na ngonongo. Ya, nangono tunga evitano tiko ngo, sa leu sara production sara lago mai. Sa leu na auroni tuko na sara ni donan raumbe ka badada. Sara tungo ngoni tauke, ngoni India. Ko sara vitam patungo.
Ori pada tak sukur panempa kina nomun lako abu gitu siang sarangan indona kau ni charge tak. Ya bukan ni kemudian sa build tak bina kasarangan nomun ni ground work ya. Main ni watch ni panempa ke ukai. Ni komen tak ni kombitan nomun ni video ni YouTube ni sivitan dona milio di nakaba sa nakena monetary reward sa liu style and we kebun ni na buku di pakasama ukila nage para ramatiki mai matikina nangonongo. Nindo na mata sere nangonongo unitu nangori o che panembaki oni sangai lantai na bakasa mo ni baka tumburan na mo ni business on may nangono uchi kina panembak sangai video ni charge takin do na mata ser mengoleani meleta kabanto na non video mo production me baka oni sa ba doro chukuna ngonongo
naka uchi panembak nungu lako chukumaya mate nungu chai chumbite vira ronan rau
to
reda ni lele buvira era sin rau ni dengu barawa kaya no kento talan kau teu ke ndo tu talan na visumona na kai so ra dengu barawa sara chance tak me bonon recline uchangira me kira nganira kau nangu ausini kau ita kapale buya o kau ita kawale nga mu patawana chiguro nungu tombu na nungu mera reda chigu ni didi chigu na siso ya mani wochi balile au reda ni sa tega buna monetize ir sa tega bu bolita katalangan onra album buna exotic prosira sara kakin umani pato seda ke bona tolu 5.5 meda mengo tolu 5.5 tiunga na nungu chachi ka lele vera kunru tiko beira ngone kauto ke ra kai saru so le bungori sa esanga wiki me menila iya me kompeta ke bir na production tiungor to na VT1 eda ka butu orto me da ke orto na orto me CFL
iya
orto non orto chachi tiko orto limono ndolu ndona video ke baka solile sa retol nundolu iya oyo tolu 5.5 tiunga na kawala ngarto ke indu ke noroto na quality noroto video lebu kina na storyline ko to semberji kino kenda to ya ke ba kauri da sato sar mena da ka video ndo ngauna wanda ndo tambagira tiko ira ba single nga mai 3 kota me to ngandro kona mustok nga balile bango sarato kana video so over time ir sabi ngati ba katagira so sar kala batamai so sar bambulo sed mai ndo ngauna mbala bu bitamba mai mbara bitunga na bitamba sangai sa lagu chiku nangonir sangai reda chiku ira sangai suara da ka membongi suara da ka volumuni studio sangai evolve chiku me bamalu tume bitum beri sar chiku me bamalu apa malu sar me bitu itiko mai sama yado sar chiku ndoro banua sar lorenele sar motel mai sa sato so sar me panangone to ya bukin
Wala sa boleh buat auto na numa turang night o kila ke budi na kila talaga buru leo sa tungo na tul na lima sanga bulunggori ya sa ukila sa ando na chachi lei tundo mbia ko ni pa dor chukuna ngonong ko o kila ni uchu sibak ni siso production ngare der to na ni to mate lolo weekend ando ben or to John Ron Rolang Reda ni sange au carango na ililo arto lakukan ni bikemuni na bakasama ni tul 5.10 ya orto barta kacungo orto na mati lolo mai begitu na ZFL mai taki 5.10 tul yo na oni bagre taka cukup bata na quality na to bitamba saya tape le indu kini ko ni oni bagre taka cukup sabo boleh kan itu batanga kemudian ni sambil tong ikan caci na numir cungan itu case saya tape edge kina pale orto na BTI
Iyo na quality ni tamba, orto banget taka, berarti kena nunggu quality ni tamba. Okay, orto cukup biru ni tamba tin karono undul. Oya una nunggu tamba ya we ciku sarira na keni sau. Na bunuh ngai indu ikina, ya una nunggu bite bioko ya una edit. Ni usapa tendo ni tamba so lilai. Na kena quality na leto to pata berarti kena quality na nunggu sama ka bina ka mai usap ta ka mai o reda me kun rara msibia na loma langi nunggu na sapa te bina ka. Na quality ni tamba eto to bata. So aken sim bata ngono edit kino match taka bata kino to quality. Na buno ngai indu kina orto torno to ngauna merto kota mai sona talent. Orto so merto na bo merto mai make toka. O jarto didi bona sona location. Orto ponto ben. Oya ni ubi tamba bani siso oya to ndo saranga. Orto endo na team. Orto leon se levi timbang na team. Merto samurakaya. Na buno nga ko ito lekti ko no kento na 350 isang tigo kento nila meto so mameran ramata ko irna biokani pato kenta santa chingo nando na ngauna sinra ninta ker nga babanua ndara tangan to ngonele to kamenta keretu me motel to bono video sianga nakake de sa so minangona ngo ni sanga chingo ni kento nila bo sa sinrongo ni tuna so miratu merto me meke ni ndona sere mosi ala kwen oyo ndona kandu bina kata meran ramata ka mer sarab na tamata me mervakila na tuku ni sere la kwen ngai kawala ngandu lilanga chiko na kapa kai labo mer so miki na talent na ningona la ko miki na dur mer makeup dur mer visa non wardrobe sanga wala nga mer na may bakani talanga mer na may karoni talanga so na in terms of quality as a match ko wala nga na buno indu na commitment ni nonra vinakata na mati sero ko tume veo merada ka vinaka ko ngonea o advocate takachukina na monetization on YouTube mera visomi mera kan me bono buno niandenda mera ni ngone rataraki na undolu non rilabo esa dawiri sana ron ge toso da kana kengu isau sana ron ki tonge da ka vinaka na video mera storyline tak.
Una boleh usar turkan ita bo ni nak tagi cukup dan nonta mai bakar ramat tagi cukup kita ngo da sar cukup minggu ngon to tengah to tunggo to untuk usara na we share to sar na YouTube ko baka sama tak saya cukup boleh wali semua bici ngon kita do batang tagi don na share mate ngai batang tenga sa musuki na rosang bul zeli masang bul na senti e baka don sar cukup na tombo virtu na fipra o cha saran ngai o cento na embaki saran ngai do lewasi do bi welta ngamo se moni botelebu sawarum butalo sana baru tu wase silin yo ya mundo sar nembak sar gen turun ya limo nundo lutunga oke to baka sama taka na gap lebu tungo mai viti ke buno tani ke baka wale mandanga menda kila na soul lebu ke na bimbi ni vengarabio ni vai dora chico kila ya na buno ya opo mo te kemni sa tosum yang ngono sa bareta kan mai na runon dulu chini kaono se tulan rau 5.10 tunga na no muni beta pa muni imbita ta ke na YouTube opo mo ta na bugu di baka sama ni imbita changa kina ro nera tu ni saule po mala terle baka sama ta chico mala ta so talanga ngono di no muni production ya na ilabo talbe nga sa ndo la ko ni bikemuni se bo bimbe ka turganai.
Iyo, hindi na turakanita na buno nung kumbita tunga kina metol 5.10 na isaw ni kango na itambala no ya o sustal nga panandra kini bula ni ndendre dakila na ndendre ni rawi labo pambibi o lebu birna langa ser chingo era sini taka ira ngol mena kor na non ratali di saranga era ngado na tingo ndono ngonum bala burtu advocate ta to may fipra bidana artis kora kambi fipra mera sanga mera bita pa ni YouTube na non rasere meron ra monetize na kawala nga ngay lenga kina no YouTube na ako simberni kabata na region mo in order for them mer monetize o ira mendo iti kung may merika sa England na bimaten tu kwera register kina kwa sara eligible me register me kaya on YouTube gira ni may upload tu ngay biti gira ni monetize kung na vida na yung pag-isawo iti yung kay pati lavira ni chiko na social na online agent may pakatakan na DistroKid na TuneCo na CD Baby ko na panua nonra nga oir nanda ulanga sere na artist ningona rakota mikina nonra sere berni rakota me viau o santo basal tagi beira merambitara virtu ya torma ke distrokid nimbitara be distrokid o distrokid sana makataka to na nona sere ningonong ke upload ni kino yo na YouTube o distrokid o kwe o irna online agent go ira reda na social network platform kede more than 150 net platforms ira yan rabatu ningonong ke upload kino yo na YouTube ndo ambita na share na TikTok ndo ambita na Facebook o distrokid sa lock taka kede sarangamay o kwe na royalty kede angin dundrunga lesu mebira tormondo yo YouTube kaya ka man ni sa monetize na nongu sa monetize yo nongu no pasta kina 100k orto sa ba yoro to monetize na nongu ningona monetize kina nongu pa yo na toronga yo na video na kani video na audio kona ko e vivi vira kamba le video ngabula pasende oira tolu ngabula pasende na nongu but nongu tigo na channel YouTube kono 70% na nita ngo sinilabulile o fipra nango o koe so muti koe limunan rau ndone ambaki so nanga unke leusara onan rau ndone ambaki yo mo banti tabi kemuni o bonga kemunia so sati ko ningo le tongo re memeri garon ndonge tarinko ke manu mulas o ko na bulo tune kina bulo oktoba embita to ko me tapatawani ko tungana tumbu e wol nundul bada de taraki no ko na sharing akora hitman ambak sauts orto na bonga kina kare na bulo wala ngam disi ambak na share tur lista tuka to nundul bada o da kauni mana kona ninda utukutuku nitu banduanga na bula endo nundul wol nan rau ya ne la bonita era satarati ko na kausa ngatingo yo mera register ke na bimata share ke ningona sa rau kina ya sana ron ge toso da ke mena no 350 sarang gue rendra toso da ke talang orto Ribbon Studio Freddy Suka Andrew Sarnuku aron gira toso da ke nangoni sala ya sarang gira ninta na bibu ke kina da viturling kan da toso batu kina
o kila di do tutal tunga na bata tao lebo ukai no ni sanga chuna baka samangori lebo rasya kan di do bata ratu no to sarut cuma tanganggo na buku di baka sama ya ya sabi bi na mata sere oni sa ukai ni oni barita kan santunan rauli masanga bulu na video baka tato ni sa baka dor mai na vida na mata sere
neta na tiko ko ratungo bana nungu page bana YouTube tiko ira na upload nga bana page o ira ko tiko bana page bana YouTube sa more than 150 sinibili ken or ira upload nga page or to na Nación do Mo ni Paradise Roots we kata bure so bira ko upload nga bana page sinibili ken na be ko wata ka be exotic bote ke prosira kaya kamera wil ke me au class asi bembe kana runan raun na be sero da kabia na be mata sere au sini pakasa au mo pakasa matangan dona macerle bus tikungo sebreda ka au sini ambato o kata bure veni tembaran orto ir keden go usada ka vir keden pandu mai usada tamba gir keden mai o wabini bina ken ni sona tading usada ka video production mengo sara kimem sa vibu kita kana vibu kengo mera ka kinon ra yalo ir nan ulang serengo neta
la sa boleh buat turkan itu bau kem sampai udah binakan cuma kem saya loper raut juga di dapur kita kayak lalu di share tuh sar cuma nabu kuni pakai sama ya ini nangunong ko sembera cuma mahivich na pakai sama kem ni saling tak raw ini indoi palang me pakai uni pakai rita kecunggur muni rawi labo cuki na YouTube batak kem uni pakai rita menopana yang bagaimana kan muni sulit free tu apa ambota kem pakai uni na pakai tak binang saran muni talent kem uni na milionnya se na buku di taka pinang kau ni ba dor cungko ni ba taka cuma na region may bi cember cuki na kono ko di saling taka raw endon na muni bikilay ko me baka dor cuki na baka sama meron yo nili tur cuki na keni labo may sanunggur
na kanita na YouTube o ko ni may mina videographers sinon ro irnanda ulang share
iya
di may mo kimay mina videographers na platform ko na YouTube ko irnanda ulang share usangge may papuli dira ko ni nanonra platform mo ira ko na irna distributing agent ko rachungo CD baby chun ko me bakal tukuno juga ya nanonra platform na buno era bita kinonra share o ko ngi lock ta may bikimay mikedango right na buno ra sinra chukina nonra sanga chukma ni YouTube bata endo ngana platform ra sanga chukina wang ki pamadal ta vira niko create ta kan no YouTube kaya kasama ni monetize ta kan do mi balangi ikon bita na no video na no share na no channel nga ena monetize tiko Gaindo remix tak meno musere post tak me pon hotel na channel. Ndo ala ko tak chukuna posa ambita chukuna musere post tak pon hotel na channel. Oi kuna sintarai ke andona ka. But no mu channel nga bon YouTube e monetize. But if you go through this online
Agents.
o ko e lock tak na no mu nindo remix ke lock tak nirtoli TikTok tak orto ya mai pelikuro e lock tak ke ma na puna ya collect tak me na royalty. O eu nangono di chumeki na neta o sini o undina o sini sanga sanga baile puna ilap. O da kabu tu me na kena ngasa ngasa mu buke irango endora ka ngasa ngasa mu do buke irango mu rongo da vira nira tali taka nungu buke nira ni sara tos tu kina non rambula ya na vida na bula sawo ti irto me ni vitar tar me bio no YouTube ni usa paisita na donan rau na undolu na nungu subscribers wana YouTube. Making me the first Fijian, first person in Fiji mutara to Creator Awards. Ningono to sa sule making na orto sange mani sule via un viva kondoni musana monetize na nungu channel. Si matalo ira tingo orto man sule kina via no viva kondoni ya. So as we speak na ilabo ndo na ilabo lewe lako vir na audio batini no rachiko na share para ndo talanga na karte na lago chukme biom batini no chukuna na channel ya but majority tiko na didi chunga vir natis ko baunge tira chiko mera register taka no share ni randong girimai mera bitam ba usando kasar nga vir da ker do wawa mandana bitam do register taka no do share mero ni ndo rawa take ni mundo trake de kin na ilabo kede ondo ambuno de kin lo vira machara didi chukme ngonita isa register taka no share sa sumir tu nga pagkatikir na ilabo la kumya sa sum na rakat ko Tony sa sum na rasoni video sum na soni kera na menra ele votale pana ngoni sal ko sandu smakat ubira
na wale besar turun ita wambo tenile sabe di cunga na vita meron ni ralure cunga na YouTube sama itu yang cunga ikan apakah sama di bidang sarang dan nomor di apa kita kata lebih na we platform merah lagu kina me tabulona keda mai kemang balik ko enda becuka mai vale lebu se mai ve buru burongo se mai nabula ni pakatang itanga sara kumuna keda ngamai ke ser na keria ngolbe na keria kena ve mata ser o wambo ni elele mantang abir na muni pa mata la cukup sangkai pakar le yandra tengah kina nora pakasa baras yang lebu aras yang sar tumbangan dikila siapa be iturang.
Iya, tura kanita, endo na line undo mga takabalo vira, ni no chiko may nakorda ka na final ni Deans. Doon na bali kasi pag na Bula FM o Gramiden, doon na bali labikin na bona TV na FBC Sports. O nga do tarvira, o debi rongo na didiba. Ngay lebo vira, erando tuko na didiba ka na FBC Sports. O siniliba rongo bi Gramiden. So ngay kalvira, ngorin balatin ni ko sarap na kao rongoda. E vai aqui na impact ni no musher no ngono biti kira na social media platform. Ni kumpita nga na audio e paka nga kel ba kwal tunga Gramiden. But no mbita ba tikina video e paka uli sarapa chiku na FBC Sports final. O sarapa sar chiku na korongo. Ya na impact ni ngono taka kina na music video ba tikina no musher. Na buni no ragay didi chiku may kina via umbata no ku subscribe sa lebu. So na lebu nga ni kina sarabi na lebu nila po e didi leus talvira. So eso complain mai ni sinithuru chiko o eso raka mai ni rasini kila kima mi puli kede tiko yo sa kima mi reile samdo sa rabunolio kima sa pa istagamai sa to sartiu kin na ilakolao.
Bila sa boleh wambo tani ando talkan na word ni beritakan ni solbi kemunino ni sapa sistakan tonan rau na undulu na subscribers ya wambo tabi be voto ke na waka samba di ni buru-buru ya weekend mai bit kim sabo di bena kana bukan muni sasang kato to kon tataka buru-buru go na tuna keni sa wan embaki no muni kembale no mulai bocuk go turang na it's not in vain ne ko sabo re taka ke tulan rau 5.5 bulung go na gela ko lako nin darbi buit cikumai sana ge boka sabo re taka baka cuna kampa sana ge tosta ni kemni sau sana ge tosta ke telanga ninda tep taka tu ya ninda ve bonue so ka buni tegi tu weekend ka lelebu na buru-buru go rasa bondo tu na uaya kar sa rawat sar tungakin na non rembula na go pampo tin na bandre kenta talanga kenta na upcoming artist non da puno lamanyo bici na siang wale tunga ninta kaya tole kata ko ni manda to e vida tal na tambana lelebu to metu ka ku di bakata gailu to bul tangana CD ya le vida rosa bulungan dola to may maru tangan ndonga ngono leka sa may dapat talanga ni kinai hangga may tunga na domondo to me ibaka na numitu ni ngauna to sing rawate kinandonon to ilabo ya onda sabo ni bina kana bugun ni ibaka ramataki na single bina ni kuwa anda kila di sali besar na kabu ni sama itu guna talu turangan itango weekend anda sama kila kina kemambale nimbiu ta ke na YouTube tu tali tu so na kenangon salalai ko me kuwa sarangan indu enro na pakasama me le kanambuta na nomuni vingarabi ndo na taro sa ngol mengo na taro ngabi kebuni oki mami na online radio pango oke mami matai mantanga usana be kere mantanga ne bi usu cibi kebuni okela ni le bunango na keme ne be kebuni talanga na be kemi tunga kemi sa ka batu na video ya en kena ngoni sala mi kemi bango kemi talanga kemi sana rani promo tak juga ni sana ngo na bakasa mango ya esenga nilai me ni rawate kine ndona kena sana bagela bi kebuni ni kila ni ndona ngoni sala rani bi buki kina na online radio networks bango be kebuni kena nomuni kampan
Iyo, nita, na tabani bibu kele buni taka pachungur, na kena kolekta kime na illa po birang ko non lera la po kina. Toro manda na YouTube, bata na YouTube non majority nila wala ko tumi bani YouTube etoria ba views. Na nomni do play taka chukuna share ngori bana ka kaya ko ni play tumi bani YouTube, kaya kam na asin lori chukuna video. Esa on chukuna view ya. Na illa po keda na didi chukubira. Onto se ba le bubira ko nita. Ninga una toso tiko ento nga una kenda kaset mai boli tagi na kaset rabarong me ko ni atu kuna tiko boli rabarong iro na kaset ningo na me mati kina kaset de viso som tagi me na CD tamata on bona CD rabarong share bona CD ningo na me mati kina CD aviso som tagi me na USB
ya
amate tamba ni USB bona motocar bona karabarong bona USB yo santa tiko ngo bona tambang una ni social media bona on internet na majority ni tamata ra chingo siang wala ngai bikum mi bala gi wili kini bich irang gai ngunengo na sara online tunga sa on ngami bon online sa kets na network bi bono so na ngongo sa 5G sara online tunga sar so na tampang ngono sanda chiku kina go sa la ko binaka chiku birna bi mata serengo ningo na sara buki sara bikina sa libna views sa la ko me bira night ingo sini la bolile ngo ndu ka chiku bira sini la bolile ngo sini limnan raw serunan raw ningo na ningone pasi kina ndona wili binaka ni kena sar torma ke pola kan ni tin undol na views sarabi ya sa pola sar chunga na undol na ilabera rawata chiku kina naita na ilabole wera enroll chunga kina but esang wala ni YouTube na be social media platform keden go raw chunga kina ya me bakana num ni taro na bibu ke dabo ni ronita ka kumne online radio abibu ke lebu saranga na num ni play ta chunga seria ke ko ni play ta chunga online ya sabi buk sarjunga wana views sarna kana sarjunga kino irna artis kuara register chigona norse
na sabole bo vamos te abiken todo ko sarada venga rafi na via sei buru-burungo na only way we can give back is menta pelita ka tsunga ba lebu na share ni YouTube sanga wala nga may non tabi wala bi America ko kaya tambe kana sosengon nanguna ki mingi ke bakar bataw ba reta ka tsunga ka uni ba reta ka tsunga matay mantangani ka se kuma din ta kana video ira mela ko man na bitambana la uni ba reta ka mata me ke bakang kay baka tangi biki tunggo nito night club bilami se nandona bubal ka todo ka sa tabulona kede mai na ilabu sa senga wale ngan to bital no chugo sa barita ka tu do ngana ka to ni one off nga bulting na CD to sanga me bakal kal tu ngai ni to gorong-goro tu sa senga tali na bita na mbaki mi konta na rongo tu bi mata ser e senga tu ni do na ilabu le sumai kide ko ni barita ka tungo ke to rani rongo linga tu mai vale on tu ngana utar ronga longo sa dawir tu nga me na sende ke baka ki mami tep ta kan do ke ba bini ka bale usar na nomo ni para ramate ki mami chiko na eka binang ni kuwa turang na ita kimami kila di doon na nguni salam pala busaro ni lakobot kumay na nomuni production siso production tega buto nga may panembak nomuni takabo walituya sabar reta ka sa tos chiko o reda ni se tos chunga nomuni bingarabi nangonongo kimbo abudi binakabali nomuni ngon nomuni bakamatala takabi kemi bakamatanta nabi katuto ko sa ramembaleta o yan music video ken production taleso nangonongo dora taro bi kemuningo na tapon beka era siyang ni binakata kine so na production companies may witi me ndo baka ngata kinan me baka tangitaki na non rasere may na YouTube ke baka indon na baka sama go indon do mera pamingo ndo baka tangita baka ngatakan eso ndo bango ke to sigina kata me bangor ambek na non rasya ambek nga nikila na kauni ba matalataka si Saya tapang beka turangan
Yo, nita, au, nungurai, Vata, wana tamata koe nona tikuna production ya. Na thapa na inaki ni nona thakawa kina production ya. Vivi buke, se pesa ngai koe wakata i koe. Bate sona ngona ndo tu weekend na living gati. Ndo kuni kana mbuto komdo, thapa ndo play tatu kina. Ngai, na... Roni so talanga ra sini kilatu na vuna ia via umantanga wakata ke o siso. Ndo rede ni play na be online radio ndo maro taka leu. Ondo kanga vira ke waka usa play taka ko nga no download taka nge upload taka tale on YouTube. Tora manda ke tikundo na nungu video on YouTube.
Iya.
Monga download taka nge upload taka tale wana nomu on page on YouTube. Ondo ka vira kuni taka vea berarti na flag taki. Bata na video ya monetize tagi tiko. Berarti na flag taka ya nona taka nga baru ya delete na nomu page me on YouTube. Gona vea taka tele nomu page on YouTube sana vende toka. Kwa ngona mbimbi kina ke waka o vikomdo na online na radio ngore na tambani bi bukele mbata ni vesi ngondo online mai ndo on tu vesi ngondo play ta tuna share so ndona views le bondo bi bukiti be kena kumdo kona views ale convert ku me labo kora bai labo tiki no kora sara register otongo ye verna be production kora ka tiki me kuni play erkai vici neita
Iya, elele bue o una do bolo vir. Au singa mantanga ni kila era le kila chum be na baka samo ni tunu chungor. Se sombe kanga na baka matala beka la tu beka beira. Na ngoma bit. O wa bina kan yo kemuni ni sa pareta ka mai beuna. Me keto round ni na biutata kena video mana siso na YouTube na buku di baka sama wat sar nganggur ya so se rabagari takachunga di siakan ni rabina kata me baka kino kemenimba kemoni na baka toron baka tona bi baka ramata ke me rabaka buli di baka bina kina mi ramai bici na buku ni baka sama go siapa baka se
Iyo, neta, na kanila ko lakon china, sindo doon mo do kere mai, ndo doon mo kere ni bikumuni, kero ndo buke ya, mo buke irango, ndo play taka toko para ndo station radio na be serango. We ir na be production ko rakai chiku me kuni play ya, sini, una nongu renga, kaya baka ukame kuni play, kaya mbale edha chiku mbaka na longu se usini kila, na ina ki ni se na kena vinaka, kaya baka ndo play taka na be isinga, na be video ngo.
Ya pambo sa napabura baka sama tu weekend na weekend ko kenta o keto baka sama ta katuranga night na buru ni business weekend ni to ke enti na baka sama kenta sole baka na katodo ko ni baka tor mai keri ke tongai mai teke bu me keto saka batalan sia wala Amerika Australia na bibu no todo ko saro ni bareta na kena lebunga na kena lebu talanga ele suiani uni bareta bit sanga bula paciente beira tolu sanga bula paciente be kemuni se vai ve
Iyo, hindi na naita. Kaya, kuna naman tayo, sange may wale sa ratungango, kuna nagutara na, kuna krita sa wode, ako rato sange bayo may, mo sana open view, muna tarayo na nungu isaw, may baka na saw ni rende, kaya may rent sigo ba na nungu platform, na ka. But through YouTube nga, yo, na majority didile subiro ira kila ni toso tu na kabina kai tu talango irlando vivada ni tu ngore lasu ngore kane ya tondo chiko ngore la ste community ko embuto ko chiko ni lavo neta yon dona kam do bandin dina tagara non dei pala pala nakanda tiba ka ndara tamusuk nga ke adala na nongu tei baki ke walawa ki mai ke usini tamusuk na vi kabina ka ke do samira chingo eu nangono postu ke nango o sa dala chingo FBC o sa vi me pa ko pamada chingo sa vi tabanan rua o sa TV producer sama yang asar to kono Bula. Before this, mera kilaw ira sarsa chuk mo iwa taxi driver chuk nganita. O taxi driver buki ira buki chuk na bita bago. Before that, I was a farmer. Ke boko lawa ki mai ke wa chuk ngamai bana farm se wa taxi chuk ngamai. Yo na obambo tanin dadaka bana kabinaka. Ena ona sota bana pi kabinaka mbata ona tamusuk ngana Kauti bak. So yo nango o buki ira nga bali bo ira rangan revan din na toso o ira ko so rando ka mo kito bila katongo kito sando kasara vireda o siso na sini buki kumdo siso na sini vita mo kumdo batani sa ayon na level ngo o sabi buki ira nga ira bila katana toso mera buki ira bakatir so ya na buno o ndo didi ba se usanga mo buki ira kin
una bola besar turangan ita bombo tenin dor sa to talanga med mudi non der vital no na ka binanga di kosan don vital no binak anda mai vital no chikino kwata ke turangan ita risi tumbo masih na kabini bingkara binting tai ke robat mai nanda kuni mai tasiri kero bang binibinaka di kero sama ini rau juga na company na Siso Production. Do na nomu ni apa mo tani do talimbe ka nomu ni ojo chini do matanga na nomu ni tuku wir na vi mata ser upcoming chungo nomu ni nambang telefoni ke pakar pinakata mer pakator na vi kato to mata lalai membiu na nonra yalo melako bata kena music na YouTube ni sure cirmanta tapi rani pakai zor ke da vika matele tale soni sember ni tapi weekend dar no dorbi tallo na ka binang ni ko
right na wale butura kanai en do wala kana point ove tu kuna ra mer no ngol mbata ningo en dona taro le bundu ngol me viau
gori mai
na vi mata ser sa release wo chime non ra sere kwara hit men dona ngol tor manda rescue brothers en do tangida na vi tini ponga kina sau na non ra ser sa tungo bon YouTube so viran ko sa rek tak mai milioni manda kana views erang ke do taro ke kito registango na ilabo kita kito tor ke tel mai aunque me matata tiko ningono register kinango sanangai teka butan tola kina viko nangono sarango lakoyani o ira kide mure angole da sa sinotara
sa sinono kumono
register kina ingore osa kabe YouTube au sa vaio mondom view ad bona no video ningono lako mikin nei labo do somona no rende na kena bo lako me biau so nangono register kina sange agreement botiki YouTube so na milioni kosa na kabutu mai ke sin register mai ngule daba ngona nga register kina sangai tegu buyan na no motori lab ko ngona mtu pangu chira mata sere nimberno lak mai via register ra mbate mungai upload yo mata ni view sa tegu rondo ke deli bikum ni lab vi kemulina tiku me pena vi korokoro kemulina singin ring tiko o kemulina ndo langa ser tunga mbate ni hobby na ngona santa tiku kinango ingo ndoni labo binakango ndana numachiko e bungo vikenda konta pabu pali ni ngono le matikina nei labong gue nan rondo chunga mai san rondo tau kana toki na nombu bale ena ke patu chunga na lebu ni views e rek ta chunga mai but enan rondo tunga mai so ke chunga mai ndele ni abo ndo langa share chunga tali di langa share kake na kato ko to nangono gue ronan rau chunga so ngana ronan rau la ko mai mi takano mu video otia gi so birang konita senga birni la busabu ke ira santu kai biro okay nangono sartu ke bikum dene la ko mai yo santu baung ke tiranga ke chunga ko tali di langa share makanya ngatang bata nangono santa tiko kinango sana rau servi ko no bailab ke bakao taka wala na talent sa sulitong ko review ko nakalo nakanita
una wala usar pampo sama ita bikan no da vital no kiturang ita risi tembu sei mai na korbo turang nanto kuni na ita siri era TV producer chugo na FBC TV ka kede lutuo chugo non ra company chugo na Siso Production kantan do bagare tu na YouTube na non ra do bi tambo abo tu na buketu na bi matcher to sarbar taka sarbar taka bo cindonan rau 5.5 na music videos ana non ra Siso Production mantanga singa ni wiliki na ko saba dor tu na bi matcher to sar darungo non ratu ya bumai ratu ya usar mera me ato na bonua er sama ya to chuki ngo ya usar taka na non da undina na bi kalalai saya to menangon ta sare dir sa taka sar tu ba ka producer na FBC TV ala indo sar chung non rekam bani ena ngono turang ani takim sabo bi na ka bali bi kemni namuni sulia namuni ngauna rawan din tamoy vital no pambota rawan din duatal na ngauno ni na para ramate ki ke mamitali sombe ka na bi matser do siama chuku mayer se sianga nikila na buno mer tepe nikina se na buno mer la kopa rawan ni nangai tari kemni talmanda na radio Bula Duavata men duatal na vital no ke ba ka ni ngalala kala ni turang oso sar kami sabo bi na ka bali ni mai mas tala men sembutu tigo na muni bubale no muni kambani na bi bakalunga tataki mai buana tamanda sa de der sara na sa bole na bitokani na yakab di bingka rabi tai en radio Bula Duavata men na Kauti Keda Vata juga mai sa do manda na serengo weekend na yakab ni bingka rabi tai ngondo talanga na latest talanga mai berto na Siso Production sabunin dele lomai dinanumikin na rosto do sara mai buro tukula na yakab ni bingka rabi tai bula binaka yanu sela imbiu
kemunindina ikoruya wa maireya Eshinganimbikai rarawana mosi baurawiti aurosi
Radio Bula Duavata me Kauti Keda Vata mai San Francisco ki Bura sema mai ngai você yani.
Metini kinamate sanagai oti Isana dau kenambata Au mai vosoti ke muniti kona Bosa la sutaki au bakawasoma Isai nongundia anasema ni alaga Nonda bebosa tivei vasati Metini kinamate sanangai oti Isana daura minuku bula-bula Nomu iteki-teki tunaseni rasibula Nomu wai-wai nakalo ni bula Nomu ibinibo daimani nakoula Nonda bebasa tivei basati Metini kinamate sanagai oti Metini kinamate sanagai oti Taki manda vakasi sinai Sambala bundina endo sengani veirai Sua vake maile wandaru simba Musuka sombu ya vinawani siwa Songo ngani marau Nevakatangi ni durumiao Auna musuka tunga Senga taleve auna mandua Sua vaka malua Nikuwa nambongi ni ngunu singa Auna musuka tunga Senga taleve auna mandua Sua vaka malua Nikuwa nambongi ni ngunu singa Amusandege Ausamodenga eke Amusandege Ausamodenga eke Amusandege Ausamodenga eke
Mata que manda mai tu isi La vena lingan darondani si Kuatale ni kokao Ay no musinga ni sudu enda Ito sumay no gulewa May tukuna veya una mulenga Masa ati hindi na lenana Amo sandeng daru may meke Auna musuka tunga Senga talebe auna mandua Sua baka malua Nikuwa nambongi ni ngunusinga Auna musuka tunga Senga talebe auna mandua Sua baka malua Nikuwa nambongi ni ngunusinga Amo sandenge Au samudenga eke 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 Auna musuka tunga Senga talibi auna mandua Sua baka malua Nikuwa nambongi ni ngurusinga Amo sandenge Au samudenga eke 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 Amo sandenge
Pina boleh usar turun kan marama daru kina ngone lew sa so sa be mo de ko su chigo nangonongo ya tangkai doli mo de ngano di bi vale se bi ye tai tu si mareu weekend amu sandenge orto sa bagare taka chigo ketu sa mo to mantangai ke nango trato bitar chikin ngo si bino no na rosa bulu kantuan miniti abambo tini da pararam tegsar chigo bole bunon rebital no chigo weekend turang anita lilu ni si so production na risi tembo sei anda na rauni no bukir na bi mata ser lelebu ko sabore taka chigo bi ngono todo kan ta sarabo chigo kentongo emerke kentongo so sengo nga sa on sar tunga na YouTube rabagare taka yan do na bonus ya ke bagara link wina gar na bi mat ser na bi bo tampana lai taleso me tabulo na keda mai ngona nga na ba tangi ni kin Amerika sa andreta na YouTube kerto na bi platform la lai tala lelebu ya o ya vida na sende ya sar le bakani le stukina nabi mata seria ke non ramatu vale o bereta ka chigo rabareta ka chigo turanga ita hindi na sarang on le paka tingu kini puru-purongko sanga ni paka iliu ratur tunga na kena royalty la goberto na fipra nduanga nangona leka nduanga na mbakir to sule ni vida no ndolu mayoch kwa na roll tu ni nda sarabo tu na buru-buru ni bisango na nabi mata seria paka ngona amu sandeng me bitai mareu mona ketengan da play taka tukin nda sosang gona na buno tabanga o kilabi nakasar chuko sala ko tal chunga nakatikil chunga na so na sende la laia le komuni le vida sa bultu no ndolu ver na vi mata ser kar sa link chuko maingo na non ser ke na music videos todo ke rabi kambani kana si so production na rongo to chuko na ka bina ko vi mama ni on da sana sema non da lotu na vi mata on da bo ni na ka berto na new methodist Christian Fellowship nerto bo buya tale non to toso and mai vito kani chuko me to pa na moni ambaki ngo da bo ni na ka chuko e wana turang tal talangasi ngasi libu ni song sunggulo tunggo tu nei sa posa adu bulono ke ranjin tal tala receli bulono ke to to sar na vital talangasi o rando ni bingarabi bata lagi ne rababa ko solutu ni randei chugo na radio bulon do bata mendo na platform me bate te chugani na be kase parte ki sar mai na ngono bo bola tambu arto ngole na tisi pel sanga wale nga mai Jerusalemi me adoba sarani na yala ke burubura ando talanga na ken na kawa ya na radio bulon do bata andan dorongo chugo na non da lutu o ya en nungu chisu nungu bonua do ya ni programa chuga me bi mama nyono me adoba tigani na ngona ndoli zaba ke non da vingarabi na via kabi di bukilul todo sara bulo benak be apisa ke rube ni bulo benak maramatau amusang lei ni bulo benak sa bole bu maramama takali lusi ser na siama chuma na kabi di vingarabi dinda brada si melimbola na pa lebu sa pa ni benak tuyatu na bu ni vingarabi ni bingkara bucuki na peta luma watala kina be adura siru sari ke nom do matu wale bina ndo siama tu maina bolili street maina kasi fata luke erna bula malombula bina ka siama cuku mai ke na cima mai Seattle re bina kana nomuni le suli do bito kan sot ni co-ed volleyball klanir to runners up kina ni to mata timi na Bula Bay ena mua ni mata so sapa ni bina ka yani wikim rau ta luke ke na cima ena ka bela ni ko na imbuka tuyon ni Bula bina ka kila ni bingkara bichum bega mai rara lepu en ngonongo rabare tak cuma main non rendo siama tok mai nem buku tuyono kerto na nomuni mati law binak sa bolebu nomuni siama tok mai rara lebu en eka binak ni kuwa bakatala kina be les tok ilang iturang night nak sa bolebu nabi tokani be kemuni bakatala kina be Mrs. Una bunin ta kuwa tok ilang sa lolo mo ni bambim be kemdo en eka binak ni kuwa en yad ni PWD mai walube wambul ginan dona turang ni korni kelo do tango bulo benaka na kanku sos langi nongo big brongo mai asasa ira sa lele na onder cumi korni kelo sa lebunga na onder cumi na buno turang mai buna mani tasiri na dum juga ni koe bataki esto mai PWD walube en ya kabini vingarabi deng dai pokok bidi binatang cikun na vi tokani klani sabole kasar cikun ngono mentan rongoda ni kinan nonta lutu en ka binang ni kuwa ya sanan do matan ser bikenta ser tunga me pokok melumutu ni nonta taka en ta pokok zor tu en ngono ngo sureci non mo mantan girls chale mareao Wambulu juga be Mr. and Mrs. Tiko saya me Sacramento isai que anda o boli na ngauna au boli Keda mai au sine be kemuni le bungani sulai biasanya di sana boleh namu lenga ni momol lenga ni puat wele kem do todo ko tu apu kena namu dulu ni matu bale todo sar talo ki puno patu ya bikin tanda kabi diping kerap ting time bicara mareau sabi mamantun tel ngabi bikin tanda ono na kalau kita landa sana bibi tau lagi na nantu tel lagi kabi nonda bingkarabi baleta ni ucung anggon sana rongo ni na nonda lotu kamuraki bikin ta utian sana lita pangai nabitu entar kami soto tale na kabi ni sini mata kantor kan nunggu bawa dipinang takan ni ron tamu bitokan ni tale na kabi di bingkarabi ni deu piti lono pono munintong di bingkarabi mata nanguna entar kami birungu tintong matalikin ni mataka ni kalungata pagating binaka ni samote.
Nongu Chisu Nongu Vanua. Warotaka na New Methodist Christian Fellowship USA and a Radio Bula Duavata San Francisco me Kauti Keda Vatamai.
A family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you are still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our family table talk every Saturday.
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
Or catch us on our Facebook page.
Welcome to the Family Table Talk at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday mornings. Well, we greet you all the way down from Parramatta in Sydney, Australia. So we are very, very grateful to have you as part of this program this morning. You know what? Over here, it's 5:30 in the morning. And not only that, it's really, really bone-chilling cold. And we praise God while we enjoy the warmth and the summer in some other parts of the world. Out here in Parramatta, it's quite cold. And I believe that all of us, either you listening in from your bed, just tuning in through the Walisi app, or you're watching us on Facebook page all over the world, we've been receiving quite a good feedback on this program. And we would like to welcome you on board again on a Saturday morning. Last Saturday, we were right in Santa Rosa at Ronay Park. We had the privilege of having guest Vika Fatumu. And also now, for this Saturday, we are right down here in Down Under, in Australia. So we would like to say greetings to all of you. And thank you once again.
Wambule tukani weekend na turangan marama dorbo na ngone lewa en singa bina ngani ko bosi weekend da baron tumai na bi koro ga viti kamatala ki na weekend na ito ke kita satu na biasa puro puro eso o klani ke mnindo waro mata kata en program binango family table talk en singa bakara wai en bi mama ni bitu en nontango na mai viti mia satu kono ti orandini ke bi mama tu ni lima en mata kalilai se butu asar tungai tumba en bono le buasa sa Parramatta en New South Wales wa mbule tukani wa anda tukani en singa bina kani kwa sin mule tabi weekend kan salis tumai nei titei se weekend kan se bono na gotiko weekend kan sa bono ni takadaka bi bono ni takadaka so bago si weekend tambah ni lawa tambah ni buka weekend na linga ni wa ni no bono na bi kama ni matibalu sa wa mbule tukani ne se bina kani kwa au klani Wang bultal tungan ni bibalim buleso, wiki menina garabi, wiki menina ni bingarabi, au klani so nangone tatar tu na bi minito mati ya, wang bultal tungan na bikai na kambura gitu gani, daura gitu gani na family table talk na bi mata ni paruai, na bi buke bagal weekend da, na bulu da ba warong mai kina, na singa bilangan ni kwa, wang bultal tungan na bi sana tininga ban non benua, kamata lagi na bi benua lili butaleso, kita salah kutu kina kata bangan dia bang gitu, sebagai buli. Libu talabi kan sali le buno today uno le bugo Australia and Western Australia Northern Territory Central Australia and buno New South Wales batala kina Queensland South Australia na bi state todoko au klai lima tikuna state na bonongo saba kambula tukani and sila ni kwa kambula tanga i New Zealand Northern Island batala kina i South Island ni mbula binaka na kina bi tauni kina bi city lebu saba kambula tukani ni sila ni kwa bikum to America kum to mai Canada bina boleh bu Seattle na bi ngara lebu kero atu kina mato Sauti kero boka bina kataka na kali hotel no November au kala ni kenda sa wata la matuko tu en program na mai Canada wata lagi na mai Seattle wata lagi na weekend to California sa ba kambula tu kan weekend si bina ko en buno tele sonda do sabati mai Golan Heights mai Chipita mai Syria wata lagi na Sinai mai Chipita sa ba kambula tu kan weekend kita do tali tu mai program binango sabati mai ne bola mata ni bula binaka ene siguna ko mata mo bale mga British Army na buno ni tukina Northern Ireland Scotland Wales bata ka England kero sa mga bula tukani mga tukani ene mata ka ni sini ko klani ya kabitu ko ni warong buka we kemuni kimam sa sa di buru rongo sa mata ka tukani singa naki kero sa mga bula tukani buno limungo o Parramatta en asa sa mga New South Wales en singa binanga ni ko binaka mga libo na do sa matumay binaka mga libo na comments binawali mo na wakan ni binang tumay and the program mo binang do tal no tagikina so na kain do buki kenda e buki nga no bulan baka matawal ni adana sartunga the family table talk and mataka ni singa ni kwa.
Well, last week we spoke at large on the loneliness, and just to wrap up on the topic that we have discussed last week, we talatik kina nambulanga lili and daron yung mga titiko and nga lili eron yung titiko bat kinanon tamat pumale but you still feel that loneliness sa nangaw na alibibi kim ni natiko may bunotani singa soti ni bibole katikin na biwe kani the only abit like start to on the Facebook patikin Viber or in the connect kina but live na issues and depression, stress, meron din kati may meron mas like nambulin nga lili, and sometimes you don't know how to deal with that. Well, for those who believe in God, we channel them. You know, that's the only thing. You have a relationship with Him, and it's always there for you. But if you're listening to us today, as we round up from last week on the loneliness, we actually touched on the people, the ladies that are married to British Army living in Europe, and also for those in America, because you live in and you do your work, and that's it. You're far away from your family, and you don't get to meet them because of work. But yet, loneliness is always there. And also the risk of feeling lonely is that when you come out, you look for things to fill up that loneliness or that desire, and sometimes can really get you into trouble, or can be very damaging to your family, or it can affect your life in so many ways, because you try to to meet that loneliness. You look for companionship, or you get involved with the wrong people, with the wrong crowd, wrong fellowship, and it takes you to another side or another direction of your life that you never meant to reach. So would you like to speak a little bit on the loneliness before we round up? Because it was a topic that we talked about last Saturday.
Yeah, loneliness is something is more spiritual. There is nothing that you can fulfill that loneliness in a human being. Because that loneliness is something to have fellowship with the Creator. And if you are not careful with the wrong fellowship, and then you are on the other side, a different side of the coin. So we encourage to find good people, right people, with the same vision, same desire, planning, those that are family-oriented people. It'll be nice to fellowship, because there's a saying that wrong fellowship can ruin a good character because of just wrong fellowship, and especially for young people when they end up in court, they end up in the wrong place doing the wrong thing
at the wrong time.
Because of wrong fellowship. So we encourage that normally find the right people, people that have quality, people that they speak positive, they have plans and desire to live a good life, and that's something that we can try to do ourselves as a person, as a human being. You mingle with the people that they look for achievement, they look for right thing, they have a positive mindset, they have a positive words. You can know the tree by the fruits. So when you fellowship, when you make friends, it's always nice to look around, try to be fellowship with the people that have a right attitude. Because when you have a right attitude, then you'll have a positive mind.
Yes.
And when you have a positive mind, things that you say, the things that you see, there was a picture that stayed like this: see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. So that depends on the fellowship that you have.
Yes.
When you have a right fellowship, you'll speak the right thing, you'll hear the right thing, and you'll want to see the right thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess, like, just to close off this topic on loneliness, because it stems out of the fact, like for Europe, like for the British Army, the wives, you may be listening to us this morning, on how your husband go for training, and they go for quite a fair bit of time. Some goes out for 6 months to Canada, to other countries on, like when they go into their work, and to as much as long as 1 year. And like if that happens in Fiji, we can tuk may viti, we can rendin sotia, and you're like $100 at least you have your family, like you are in Fiji. You're bound to go to your parents, or you meet up, with the Fijians, because you're in Fiji. But when you are living abroad, it can be very, very lonely. And some of you may be listening this morning, you are married to rugby players, and you may have contract in France, in Romania. I had the ability to meet up with the ladies out there when we were in Romania, for Auntie Milika and the Tongan lady, beautiful ladies out there. And one thing too that they shared it can be so lonely in a foreign country, and just on their own with their children. And the money can be good, life can be good, but that loneliness, it's something that people don't really talk about it, and we don't want to acknowledge it. The loneliness is there, and it becomes individual burden that cannot be shared, and they don't know how to deal with it. So sometimes, like what Gasiliv said, if you're not careful with the people that you share your loneliness with, it can be damaging to your relationship, or it can really affect your family. And when we were in Europe, in one of our events, I'm not really sure whether it was last year, we came across, like we were praying over families that were broken families, on how the things that never used to happen before are not as bad as what it is now, on how the married ladies or the married women getting involved with the young recruits, that come all the way from Fiji for British Army. And I know people don't want to talk about this, but I want to bring it to this table. It's a family table talk anyway. And we want to talk about it because, sometimes we're looking at, they have extramarital affairs. It's an affair. So we begin to talk about it. We begin to condemn it. Yeah, it's a wrong act. But it's good at times just to step back and ask yourself, why that happened and how did it happen? Because it doesn't just happen to one person, it happened to quite a fair bit. So there is a reason why things are happening. And one of those reasons, I believe, it's loneliness. Because you are there, you're making the money, it's a new country, it's work. But at the end of the day, you have women staying at home, looking after their children. And if they're not working, that's the only fellowship that they have, their children, day in, day out. I know for us women, that's our job, to look after our family. But we need to, gone are the days like you just come, get married, you belong to the kitchen, you look after the children, I make the money. And now people are speaking, like they standing for their own rights, they have their own desires. And before it's always snubbed, but now the world has changed. Everybody has got their own rights, women's rights, children's rights, and men's rights. Everybody has got their rights. And the world support that. So at times when these things happen, I believe, like what I said, one of those reasons is loneliness. They're if they're home for 6 months and they go for training, that loneliness of seeing through the family. Some women, they're really, resilient to all these things. And I must take my hat off to all of you women who do that. Year in, year out, you've been married to, that kind of situation for maybe 10 years or more than 10 years of your life, but you've really been resilient to everything, any temptation that comes by your way, and you know how to manage your family, to make it work. And for some, they give up in the process. When something come up and sort of meet that lonely feeling that they have, they forget about the family that they've originally, started, and the love that they had for their family. So, well, it's everybody's choice, and that's their right. They have the right decision to, the rights to make their own decision for their lives. But on the outset, as we mentioned this morning, because we're talking about loneliness, one of those reasons, I believe, it's loneliness. And for couples that are listening to us today, find the time. If you know you're going to go out for training or leaving your house for 6 months or more than a year, try and think of ways, talk as much as possible when you're together. And when you go, keep that connection. Maybe the training, some of you, the training that you go through, you're not allowed to be on your phone, or phone are taken off because of the strictness of the condition of your training. But as and when you can, try and get engaged. Even if you're abroad, be part of their devotion, be part of their prayers. Say hello in the morning, say goodbye. Say hello 2 or 3 times in a day by using your gadget, either on Facebook. We're not on Facebook, but I heard Facebook has got quite you can do video on it. For me, I'm mostly on Viber. And even on Viber, it does work for me. We travel quite a fair bit. And like last night, as we sit here, I call home. I try and call home as much as possible. As we leave home, I time the devotion. And I know if I either call them before the devotion or after the devotion in the evening or in the morning. I time when they're about to leave for school, because he usually pray for them. And wherever we are, we try as much as possible. Either he prays on the phone, we try and create the atmosphere like we never left. And we use, the gadget to be able to do that. So you still get your family going. And I believe Sometimes we work with trust and we always feel, oh, it's okay, they'll be okay. Maybe it's okay for 1 week or 1 month, but it's not okay after 1 month. You need to find the connection. You need to, you need them to hear you. You need them to feel you. You need them to know where you are. And the more you engage them, the more it gets rolling. It's just like you are at home. So just a few tips to us, for those of you that are living not only in Europe, wherever you are, that have those kind of relationship, a strange relationship. But for America, for those of you that are listening to us this morning, for America, most so they live in, they do their jobs. It's like they live in with their client. Some lives, it's like that's their life. From Monday to Sunday, they live in that same place. And if they're married and they have their family back in America, they might have a flat that they pop in every now and then. But some, they work from Monday to Friday and then they have the weekend off. And, at least they have some days to meet. But other than that, it's only this, or you pop into their workplace to say hello. And because it's the nature of your work. What we're saying, like, you cannot change the nature of your work because you're getting paid to do that. But you can think of other ways of trying to make your relationship work and making your family work. And if your client understand, try and engage one evening or one day. Just ask, can I have my family? I'm talking about those who have their families with them in America. But for those of you that you are there on your own and you're making money for the people that are living right here in Fiji or away from America, and you're the only person there, then I believe, same as what I have mentioned earlier, you need to be really connected through this one. Talk to them, watch them. Don't just say anything. We were actually, to round it up, we were, after Sunday, we sat around, it was a Saturday, we sat around and talked with the ladies. And then we were talking about grandchildren. We were talking about families. And one of the ladies spoke up and then she said she has 7 grandchildren. So they were all, like, she called home on a video and they were all talking. But when she said, when I left Fiji, my eldest grandchild, knows, like, the others were born when she's in America. And they were coming, one by one to the phone. And she was talking to them. And then when she was talking to them, she said, who's that? Like, who's that? So the older one began to explain to them, that's Nana. Like Nana, your father's mommy, that's Nana. And like they couldn't recognize her, because they were born and she wasn't there. Yeah. And she said, at the moment, we were having a good laugh on Saturday. And she said, at that moment, my husband, spoke up from behind my grandchildren to say, now, Bu, na mostalis mai, kasi ngarto na makumba musasing ni keleko, like that thing. When you have to find ways and means to stay connected. And we have one of the ladies that was sitting with us, looking at her grandchildren playing around and said, oh, you're really blessed just to have your grandchildren here with you. So you'll have to find ways to make your family work. And I believe for those that are feeling that loneliness, you're on your own, because at the end of the day, you're just there to make that money to help your family back at home. And for the people at home, it's good because money is coming home. But for you living the life, it can be a struggle from Monday to Sunday. If you have a client, at least you have a companion. But other than that, there's always that loneliness that you feel. And for those who believe in God, like we do, I believe, like what you mentioned this morning, only the Creator can fill up that void or that emptiness or that loneliness. Because He's a Creator. He knows exactly what to do with you. Because if not, kaya baka dating Amerika, kaya baka isenga, o kenda na songo kena nganda na rawada, kenda na lako kina. But na kanda vangaratiko, kenda vangaratiko, kenda sinimata songo, and the vangaratiko me sotawi na ngalili ni bulaya.
Kenda vangaratiko indona kanda sin sotawi.
Yeah. And even kaya baka iko atenta ka kaya na songo na mara o na kakede ko lako kina, niko listal mai ina namu living, or when you return, nothing happened to that loneliness. It's still there. So it's just that moment you want to forget about the whole world or forget about your responsibility and forget the fact that you are lonely and you just, bask in the glory of other people out there having your fun that you term fun. But when everybody goes back to their living or
You
goes
goes
back to
back
their
to your
home,
lonely.
that loneliness either double or take it to another extreme. So just a word of advice on the family table talk. Your loneliness, what he said. We try as much not to be too churchy on this program, but there's no other way. One way or the other, we always go back to the Creator, and you need to find that closure.
Yeah.
You need to find something that fill you up in the spiritual essence, that give you that contentment and that joy and that peace. Because if not, you'll keep on searching. No matter how old you are, you'll always search for that something to meet that loneliness that the world will never ever provide anything to fill up that gap.
Just look at the way the people are taking drugs.
Yeah.
You go from level to level to level to level, because in search of to fill that emptiness or the null or the vacuum that we have. And there's nothing, no sex, no money, no wealth, no drugs can fulfill that. And that's very important for human being to say. From the famous table talk, it's good for people to know, because you can build house, you can build whatever you want to build for you, or you can have a piece of land and
like
have
the material things.
the material things, the material things and the fun of this world, which a lot of people term.
I didn't really go there when you mentioned drugs. When they take drugs, I think that is one of the reasons that they want to forget their current status or what they're going through. They just want their mind off on all the things that
they are in search of that fellowship, and that fellowship is only in the Creator himself.
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment. And that's why people end up to Mars and the moon. People will continue to search. People will continue to search. And that's why we have a lot of billions and billions of dollars invest on going to the deep ocean and going to the space in search of something, and that something is in here.
So just something to make their life exciting.
Like yesterday, we were talking on affecting the families. People are coming to work in the farm in New Zealand, Australia, and thousands. Now it's nearly going towards 20,000 people already left Fiji to come. All in search of something. And when we are searching that something, and the harder we search, the difficult that we will find, because it's
money is good. Money is good, but it doesn't meet every areas of life. I mean, the money can sound very attractive to come to. We were having quite a good fellowship and good talk down at the airport when we arrived yesterday at Sydney, and it's amazing because like of the the NAC. Go back to the NAC. It's a good initiative from the two governments to help families, because I believe the objective or the purpose of that is for them to come, have their finances, and the contracts range from months to years, and for their finances for them to send back home to the livelihood of their family, like to benefit their family, and which is very good intention from the beginning. But what we fail to see that these are human beings. They're not machines that you just send across, make the money, come back. These are human beings. They are, and not only human beings. They have families, and they have children, they have spouses, they have husbands, they have wives, and it's a good intention. But when these people come across, then they have their own needs for fellowship, their own need for to live a life. It's not like they are coming in as zombies, make the money, send the money, and then you come back home. And that is why, like, for the ones that leave the church to come from Fiji to either to Australia and New Zealand, we always recommend that for them, as much as possible, to look for a contract that involves their family, or for them to work in getting their family across, which we believe we have achieved in New Zealand. When we came across to New Zealand, one of our events, we identified this, and also for the growth of the the church, and we identify the families. We identify, we wrote down the family names, and we came in agreement to fast and pray so their families can join them. And it's amazing, it worked. So as you come across, money can be good, and the feedback that we received yesterday as well, in some of the places where both women and men, come together and they go and work together in the same place, or in the same setup or contracted to the same company, and they're given bulletins or given accommodation, they end up, finding partners within each other. But these are the people that have their own families, they have their own children back at home. And I believe before you step out to even be part of the NEC, you held hands with your spouses at home. You pray together with your family back at home with that thinking, whatever dad or mom is going to do, it's going to benefit our family. So with that same understanding, the support is from home. And on the other hand, they never knew that sometimes it can be the last time you hug your husband, it can be the last time you hug your wife, because when they come, maybe a few months, they are good, and then after that, because it's too long. 1 year, families back at home.
Because the atmosphere that they came into, with everything is available, the party and all these things, does not help to tune into their family. And happens a lot in Australia because of the mixed gender when they come and work here. In New Zealand, it's normally
more men,
normally men. And those are the things that I believe back in 2019, I believe I preach and I share on live television and also on the radio. If the government at that time to look at the conditions, because the very thing that we want to upgrade or to develop our family, the needs, buying a house, buying a car, the very thing that we want to upgrade is our family livelihood. And because we are not looking after the condition well, and that is the most affected
downfall for these families.
So it's something that I believe the current government is looking into. I heard it a few weeks ago that they put on the paper. It's a reality. It's happening, and it's breaking up a lot of families. And I believe most of the families that are watching, they will agree with this family table talk that we need to look at because the very family that we love, the very family that we want to put them into, to a good footing. In achievement, in buying a house, buying a car, good living, and that is the family that will be affected. Because when they came here, as we heard yesterday, the feedback, most of them, they are built together, they are staying together, and they have families back at home, and it can be very, very painful because when they came here to look after their family, and the very thing that is affected is their family and especially the children. And most of the story, it's very sad. But I believe there are solutions.
Yes, I believe so too.
If there's a problem, there's always a solution. There's no problem that does not have a solution. We just have to think wisely. And for individual, I believe every day there are people coming over to work, which is good. We are trying to upgrade our family standard of living. But on the same token, that we must be careful and look at the contracts, the conditions very carefully, because I tell you, when you're out of Fiji, the whole world out here is
too attractive and too tempting,
and it can be a downfall. And instead of come and develop your family, it's becoming a distraction without us realizing.
So for families back at home, stay connected to your husband or your wives if they have left Fiji shores, to come without you. Stay connected and always keep the communication going. Never cut off the communication, regardless of how you feel. Sometimes, you get offended for some of the things and you say, I don't want to talk to them. Don't allow any moment of that disconnection. You must stay connected. And for those of you that are here in Australia, maybe, okay, we don't want to listen to them. And because of the things that you have chosen, things that you have engaged yourselves in, and you don't want to hear this family table talk this morning because it's sort of convicting you, whatever that you're doing is very wrong. Remember the families back at home. And maybe you'll say, okay, right now you'll find all the weaknesses your husband or your wife or your spouse back at home has to just to justify that whatever you have done is correct. Oh, I don't want to, but I'm going this way because she doesn't like my relatives, or she doesn't look after me, or he doesn't look after me, or he's very abusive. You pick on the negatives of your spouses back at home just to justify the fact of what